and start lifting. Right step. Once you start saying in your mind, the timing of the stepping must be exact. The stepping process and the labeling in the mind must also be synchronized. Once you finish the step, you will halt for a moment. Avoid lifting or placing one foot while lifting the other. What I have noticed is that some yogis are walking like this. Right step, left step. What I mean is, after the right step is done and touching the floor, the other foot has already been lifted. So 2 moments of pressing down and lifting are happening at the same time. Since you cannot focus on one well, you are not clear to know anything. That's the reason we make a halt after making each step. Your mind should adhere from the start of the lifting until the pressing down on the ground. See what's happening there, as I mentioned earlier. Is it feeling hot, warm, cold? Do you feel hardness? Do you feel softness? All of these sensations are to be counted. When labeling in your mind, do slowly. Right step. Left step. Right step. Make sure the other foot is not lifting until both feet are touching the floor. Here it is again. Right step. Left step. Right step. Left step. Your mind has to focus on the whole process until one foot is pressing down. In order to know the whole foot, you have to focus your attention on the arch of the foot. Labeling is right step, but your mind has to stick to the arch of the foot in the whole process. In the beginning, you may not know the whole process. Sometimes you may know while pressing down, sometimes while you are lifting up. This is quite normal for every yogi. However, you have to keep your effort up always. With continuous effort in catching the whole process, later you will really see what is happening. Your mind will be able to adhere to the object. It is important not to reduce your effort in doing this. After these steps, you will reach the end of the walking path. You will stop for a while there. Here is right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, and so on. Now you reach the end. You will come to a standing position like this. Then close your eyes and note standing, standing. Noting on standing is actually seeing yourself with the mind's eye from head to toe. At first, you will take the whole body as it is and note standing, standing. As a beginner, noting the whole body standing is actually not easy. In that case, you can divide the body into 2. One is from the head to the waist, and the other is from the waist down to the toes. Then, note on each part alternatively. Do labeling as standing upper part and standing lower part. Do labeling in your mind as if you are looking at it with your eyes. Do not try to visualize with imagination. What we want here is to see the whole body directly with your mind's eye. What you will see is in the beginning your head, chest, or abdomen, depending on where you look. You will see whatever exists. Later on, these names or concepts will disappear, and you will see the real phenomena. Most beginner yogis tend to drop standing meditation as they do not see anything and think there is no significant benefit to practicing it. Instead of seeing standing phenomena, they are thinking about this and that when they are standing. Note carefully and precisely to avoid this. Standing, standing. Since you have divided your body into 2 sections, you will take about 5 notes for each part, like this: standing, 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 and so on. After 5 times focusing on each section, you can open your eyes or keep them closed if you like. Turn your body slowly. Do not worry about overturning. If so, you just turn back. When you are turning, note it as turning, turning, moving 1 foot at a time. After moving 1 foot, put your attention on the other, noting as precisely as possible. So keep switching feet and noting precisely. Focus your mind on moving the foot at each and every turn. The labeling is simply turning, turning, and the noting mind should adhere to the foot which is actually moving. If you turn this way, for example, focus on the right foot. If you move the other foot, focus on that foot. After a turn, you should face straight down the path. You will note standing meditation about 3 times before you start to walk. When you reach the other end, follow the same procedure. Note about 5 times for standing, standing, before turning, and for 3 times after turning, you can note standing, standing again. Follow this for each and every step. Therefore, you will do the standing meditation here at one end and another time at the other end. Now, you can note left step, right step as a single noting per step, and do this for the first 20 minutes of the walking meditation session. After that, you will do the 2-step noting, and here is how to note for 2-step noting. We note lifting as you lift your foot from the floor and labeling it as lifting, but it is also important to focus on what is happening in your foot when you lift it up. And after you do note lifting, then dropping or placing as you see fit. Your foot will follow a triangle shape in its movement. Do not move forward too much. Remember, you are not in a race. The next segment of your practice will involve the 3-step noting process. But here, in 2-step noting, we have lifting and dropping, or lifting and placing. Noting the movement is not involved. Once we finish noting of these 2 steps, if you are standing on both feet, avoid raising your foot so it's so high in the lifting. It should be natural, and the maximum distance from the floor is about 3 inches.